I'm Robert LeBoyer, Senior Biotechnology Analyst in the Equity Research Department at Noble Capital. Our next presentation is from BioHarvest, a company with proprietary technology in botanical synthesis, making therapeutics for human applications. With us is Ilan Sobel, the CEO. Go ahead, please.
Thank you very much, Robert. And hello to everybody out there. And thank you for taking the time to hear our very, very unique story. So I'll just kind of take you through forward-looking statements, first of all. And now I'll go into the presentation. So let's start to understand the power of our technology and the BioHarvest sciences story. Let's first start by understanding the North Star of our company. And our North Star, which drives everything that we do every day, is to develop, manufacture, and democratize 5 to 10 molecules from plants in the next 10 years that change the world of health and wellness for hundreds of millions of people while preserving the planet for generations to come. Our unique botanical synthesis technology that we've developed for the last 17 years, a very mature technology that we've invested close to $100 million behind, is able to produce plant molecules with a unique consistency, predictability, and economic viability at the highest levels of sustainability. And we're able to solve 3 major pain points, which has stopped the titans of industry from the pharmaceutical world all the way through to nutraceutical, cosmetics, and the nutrition world from really leveraging the power of the plant kingdom. These 3 pain points really are the following. 1, plants grow very inconsistently because they're grown in a much broader environment, specifically today with all the challenges of global warming. So when you're developing, for example, a pharmaceutical product, you need to have that consistency. And up until today, there has not been that critical consistency. Secondly, the phytomedicinal compounds that are so critical for our overall health and wellness are found in such minute levels inside plants. And therefore, to have economic viability, you have to grow so many plants. So there's been a major economic viability challenge in addition to the consistency challenge. And the third factor is anchored in patents. You can't patent nature. So for this reason, pharmaceutical companies, for example, who started with the plant, they moved away to chemical synthesis where they could get consistency, they could get economic viability by producing in a lab, and they obviously could get patents. However, today, our botanical synthesis technology addresses each of these 3 major pain points. And that's why today we are, through both our direct-to-consumer wellness business as well as our CDMO business, engaging in major opportunities to deliver on this North Star by partnering with companies in the nutrition space all the way through to the pharmaceutical space, as well as by driving our own direct-to-consumer wellness business. I want to talk about the technology and how the technology works. Very simply, we take the plant once, and we understand exactly where in the plant are the critical cells that produce the phytomedicinal compounds. And we take these cells from the plant and we grow them in a petri dish, doing hundreds, if not thousands, of experiments, where at this stage, we're changing the nutrition we feed the cells, the lighting, the temperature. And we have 2 major objectives here. 1, we get the cells to produce the exact same mirror of the phytomedicinal compounds that the plant produces. We call this mirroring. And 2, what we do is we focus on a specific compound that we magnify by an order of magnitude. We call this magnification. So in the case of our red grape cell vinegar product, that today we sell 25, planned this year, we will sell $25 million of revenue just utilizing this molecule direct to consumers in a subscription-based business. We focused on magnifying the levels of a critical compound called piceid resveratrol. And piceid resveratrol is the gold standard. The Rolls-Royce of resveratrol, has the highest levels of solubility and bioavailability. And today, we're the only company in the world that can produce piceid resveratrol at a commercial and industrial scale, together with all the other polyphenols from the red grape, because at this stage, we magnified the levels by 100 times versus the amount that's originally found in the red grape. At this stage, we lock the cells and we never have to go back to the plant. We create a cell bank. What we've developed in the last 10 years is the ability to take cells from a cell bank in a petri dish and to be able to train the cells to be able to literally toughen them up and condition them to be able to grow in liquid media in large scale, industrial scale bioreactors, 1,000 liters plus in liquid media with sheer forces of air. And today, our technology allows us to be able to grow plant cells at the greatest industrial scale. These cells grow in bioreactors for 18 days, they multiply, and they elicit the phytomedicinal compounds. We harvest the cells, we take them out of the bioreactors, we're left with a very rich mud that we then literally dry, freeze dry, or use lyophilization, and we're left with a highly soluble, bioavailable end product. There are no insecticides, no herbicides, no fungicides, because we're growing in aseptic bioreactors. We don't deal with heavy metals. There are no solvents. This is clean product with the highest levels of efficacy based on leveraging the power of the mirroring and magnification effects of the phytomedicinal compounds originally from the plant, with sustainability at the core. And importantly, the technology is non-GMO because we do not in any way change the molecular structure. So in summary, our technology allows us to grow plant cells with unique consistency, predictability, patentability, bioavailability, cleanliness, environmental sustainability, economic viability, and critical non-GMO credentials. We use this technology today in two core businesses. The first business I'm going to talk about is the direct-to-consumer wellness business unit, where we chose to monetize our investment in the technology originally. This business today will deliver $25 million of revenue for 2024. We've tripled this business every year for the last 3 years. This business operates based on our third quarter results at a gross profit of 57%. We increased our GP 1,200 basis points versus the previous year, with a very clear path to get to 65% in the next 12 months. And this business for us is a critical validation of the power of our botanical synthesis technology and acts as a critical proof of concept to be able to engage on the second business that we opened up in February, which is a CDMO services business unit, where we're partnering with the titans of industry, from pharma, from cosmetics, nutraceutical, and nutrition companies, to be able to leverage our technology to work in partnership with these companies to develop new molecules from plants to bring to the marketplace. So we're going to spend a few minutes now talking about each of these specific business units and the application of our technology to these business units. Let's start first the direct-to-consumer business unit, where today we've really scaled very, very quickly our red grape cell molecule, which is anchored as a company in science. We're a science-based company. We've performed a number of clinical trials, all double-blind placebo, published in peer-reviewed scientific journals. The key clinical trial we utilize on our red grape cell product, which we sell under the trademark of Vinia, is we were able to demonstrate that taking one capsule of Vinia every single day for 90 days, we were able to increase the flow-mediated dilation of one's arteries by 70% versus baseline. This increased arterial dilation drives more blood flow. Blood flow is such a critical part of our body's operating mechanism. More blood flow, you have more physical energy. As a result of the increased levels of oxygen and nutrients flowing to the body, tissue, cells, and organs, more blood flow to the brain, reduces cellular toxin. It reduces cellular toxins. It removes them from the body. Goodbye brain fog, and you have much more mental alertness. So with this critical benefits of delivering physical energy and mental alertness, in addition, our clinical trials have been able to allow us to make structure function claims according to FDA guidelines related to maintaining blood pressure within already normal ranges, reducing oxidation of LDL cholesterol, reducing oxidative damage to one's cells as part of the aging process. And as a result, we have today more than 50,000 customers, all on subscription, with a 4.8 out of 5 after literally more than 7,000 verified ratings. We are growing this business. We've literally doubled the business every year for the last 3 years. We're growing the business with what we call the Vinia Inside strategy. The Vinia Inside strategy is all about delivering superior science with our technology, superior efficacy anchored in clinical trials, and superior taste as we make sure across each of these billion-dollar verticals that we're going after, we are producing products that taste better versus market leaders. We're premiumizing as we bring better for you health and wellness credentials to very, very discerning consumers that are craving the health and wellness credentials as they look for better for you products to really drive the lifestyle change that they're looking for. And we have launched literally 12 months ago our Vinia Superfood Coffee in K-Cup. Each capsule, each K-Cup has this equivalent amount of piceid resveratrol and polyphenols as one capsule. And today we've sold north of $1.6 million direct to consumer of our coffee, or the most premium coffee on Amazon. And there really is a significant market for this as consumers are looking to pay premium for highly efficacious products anchored in the benefits from clinical trials. And we literally, early December, we launched our Vinia Superfood tea in a English breakfast black tea, matcha green tea, as well as a cranberry tea. And we believe we're going to have similar success for this as we disrupt multi-billion-dollar categories. Next year, we'll be launching into the $15 billion hydration marketplace. We're going into clinical trials in the next few weeks as we look, again, focusing on our superior science, superior efficacy, superior taste. This is all about providing better for you hydration, going up against the Gatorades of the world, the Powerades of the world, Liquid IV, LMNT of the world. And then we know the power of our Vinia capsule in really driving blood flow to the epidermis layer of the skin, improving overall skin wellness from taking the product systemically. And we're working on a combination product of taking the capsule together with a topical solution containing our piceid resveratrol to really disrupt the $13 billion beauty market in the US. And you can see as we move to disrupt these multi-billion-dollar categories, they're all creative from a margin perspective, helping to drive the 65% margin destination. And that's a direct-to-consumer gross profit margin, i.e. it's delivered product direct to the consumer's house, which ultimately over time, as we scale this business, will allow us to get to a 20% EBITDA profitability business. We have multiple molecules in the pipeline. The next molecule that we will be launching into the marketplace in 2026 is our olive cell molecule. Today, we've articulated our ability to produce verbascoside glycoside which is the most potent, one of the most potent anti-inflammatory polyphenols from the olive cell. We can produce this today at the highest levels in the world, similar to what we do with our piceid resveratrol. And this is going to be very, very focused on liver health, on joint health, and overall cholesterol health. And this will be followed in 2027 with our pomegranate cell product. So this is the playbook. This business itself, ultimately it's a cash generating business. 80% of the business is sold through our website, 20% on Amazon. It's a subscription business. So literally it's a 24-hour cash turnaround business and acts as a critical validation to our CDMO business that we started in February, and already we have major traction. The way the CDMO business works is we're focused on four major engines for growth: the pharmaceutical industry, cosmetics, which are the high margin, lower volume areas, and then on the lower margin, higher volume areas, the nutraceutical and nutrition and sweeteners. And the way it works is that we partner with key titans of industry. We work through a milestone staging process from plant all the way through to producing the actual final molecule for these customers. The genesis of the CDMO business goes back to our North Star and our desire to leverage the power of our botanical synthesis technology process to impact the lives of hundreds of millions of people. We understood that our direct-to-consumer business, albeit it being very successful, we were going to get to a few 100,000 customers, maybe 1 million customers, but we want to really leverage the power of our technology to address the unmet health needs of hundreds of millions of consumers. Therefore, we decided to open up the technology. So we will now partner with key titans of industry in these four growth engines, and literally to go from plant to final molecule for an investment of $1.8 to $2.5 million in NRE, phased in 3 critical stages. And then in stage 4, we move to a royalty-based commercial model with our partners. And ultimately, our partner will have the intellectual rights for the composition. We obviously have all the IP for the manufacturing. We will produce the molecule under a royalty-based relationship in step 4. What's important to understand is that already we have a number of deals. We have a major deal in the pharma space, working with a NASDAQ-listed pharmaceutical company where we're producing a specific enzyme for this company. There are, to give you some perspective, 140 RX drugs today that have APIs, active pharmaceutical ingredients, that come from botanical sources. These companies are dealing with challenges from a consistency perspective, dealing with challenges from pricing stability. They are dealing with challenges because they have no IP. So obviously our technology provides them with a really unique ability to control their supply chain, to deal with challenges from a geopolitical perspective, and to maintain consistency and to have IP and build a moat around their technology as it relates to botanical APIs or other plant-based adjuvants that are going into biologics. So we have one deal in this area. The other major deal that we signed literally last week, being the second week of December, we announced a major partnership with Tate & Lyle, a 160-year-old company, really the leaders in the non-nutritive sweetener world, where we're now going to be partnering with Tate & Lyle to develop the next generation of non-nutritive sweeteners from botanical sources to really bring to the world healthier options for food and beverages. This is a major validation of the power of our technology. And today we have a number of key companies, key catalysts deep in the pipeline as we look to announce in the future additional CDMO deals in the pharma space, nutraceutical, cosmetic space, in addition to the major deal that we announced in the second week of December with Tate & Lyle as an anchor partner of ours in the nutrition and sweetener space. The company overall, one thing that 18 years as a senior executive taught me was the ability to execute. You can see quarter on quarter, we've driven incremental revenue growth. This is all based on growing recurring subscriptions. We have best-in-class metrics as it relates to cost of acquisition, as it relates to churn rate and lifetime value. And importantly as well, the gross profit of the business has continued to improve, reaching 57% in the third quarter of 2024, with a real maniacal focus to get it quickly to 65%. The company plans, as clearly stated, the pathway to be EBITDA profitable in the second half of 2025. And this is a very, very major focus for the company as we reduce the operational burn of the company. We have a best-in-class dream team that we've built in the last 5 years, really with technical experts in every single area, significant experience, significant maturity and professionalism, as we really bring the power of our biotech solution to a number of different industries, from nutrition all the way through to the pharmaceutical industries. And I will stop now for any questions that there might be. Thank you very, very much. Robert, over to you.
Well, thank you very much. That was a really interesting presentation. And one of the things that strikes me about what you're doing is the idea that you're taking medications today that use active ingredients that are found in plants. Are those 140 things that you can change from an extraction process from natural plants to the biosynthesis that you're...
The botanical synthesis, absolutely. Absolutely. And we can produce with unique consistency, predictability, much greater economic viability, and patents, building a moat around the technology of these companies and reducing all the geopolitical risks that these companies have. Many of these companies are sourcing these botanical ingredients from regions of the world, let's say, that today have significant geopolitical risk.
Yeah, to put it broadly, yes, significant geopolitical risk.
And I think importantly, when you look at it, our technology is non-GMO. In many parts of the world, a lot of these companies deal with challenges related to heavy metals in the soils, dealing with the unintended consequences of herbicides, insecticides, fungicides. We grow our cells in aseptic bioreactors. So we're not dealing with these challenges, and ultimately are also not utilizing solvents in the downstream process.
Well, yeah, in terms of the process itself, for people who are familiar with recombinant DNA technology, their DNA is introduced into a mammalian host cell and then grown in a bioreactor. What you've described sounds like you're taking the plant cell and you do not introduce any new DNA, so it's non-GMO, non-recombinant, and you just derive a more robust cell line that can produce the active ingredient in a bioreactor, and then you just purify it without any of the problems from an extraction process or any of the other chemical derived processes for isolation.
Correct. You've articulated very much the advantages. We don't in any way change the molecular structure. That's why we're a non-GMO technology. And importantly, what we're able to do is we're able to magnify the levels of the most critical phytomedicinal compounds contained in that plant purely by adjusting the variables as it relates to the environment, the food, the nutrition we feed the cells, the lighting, the temperature, and a number of other variables that we keep in our black IP box. And with these variables, we control these variables. And that's why we're able to get the consistency, the predictability, and the magnification drives the economic viability, because your overall magnification really increases the potency and reduces the overall cost of each particular capsule, serving, etc.
Sure. And you mentioned that your lead product is sold on Amazon and you have many consumer products that are derived from it.
Robert, we sell, just to be clear, 80% of our business is on our vineyard.com website. So that's
Hmm.
through our own website. 20% is on Amazon. It's a very healthy mix, 80-20. And obviously, 95% of what we sell on our website is subscription. It's a subscription business. People ask me, how do you get a business that's so heavily focused subscription? It's actually between 90 and 95%, depending on the month. And it really comes down to the fact that we have a molecule that changes people's lives, and we have a very low churn rate, and people see the value of a subscription product.
Yeah, and you don't have problems with people who forget to reorder or order at irregular intervals, which sounds great. And that those financial results speak for themselves. Are there any plans to have a prescription version of this or any kind of therapeutic at maybe higher concentrations or
So
anything
we we
like
will
that?
we will we will be launching a chew product, CHEW. The chew product actually is a double dosage product. It's for a much younger consumer. We've done a lot of work with very highly physical people, athletes, wannabe athletes. And we know specifically for athletes, we did a lot of work with NFL players in the combine, who are obviously in the highest of their physical condition. And we found that for these high oxygenated athletes, we needed 2 capsules a day to really give them the edge as far as their physical performance is concerned. So we've developed a chew product. It's obviously going to be fast absorbing, and has 2 times the actives versus our capsule product. We're going to be launching that in March. As it relates to more therapeutic products, obviously that's where we're focused on the CDMO side of our business. And we
Mhm.
work through obviously major partners like key pharmaceutical companies. Ultimately, we're doing all the work, leveraging our R&D capabilities to develop the unique molecule, and obviously working together with them. Either it's a replacement molecule, which the regulatory path is much simpler. If it's a new molecule, obviously it's a much more intensive path from an FDA, whether they decide to take it through the botanical drug path or orphan drug path, etc. But in this case, we're producing the molecule for these companies. They're doing the regulatory work. They're doing the clinical trials. Our focus is really on our core capabilities, which is in the R&D and the development of the molecule, and then literally the manufacturing of that molecule at scalable levels.
Great. So you're dividing it between your core capabilities and letting them do the other work, which sounds
Correct.
like a great strategy to focus on that. Okay. And in terms of milestones going forward, uh, the, you've described quite a bit and many products. What are some of the things that investors can focus on in the coming months?
Well, if we kind of divide it into product milestones, partner milestones, and profitability milestones. So the product milestones, obviously, we have a number of new product launches coming into the marketplace. In the first quarter, we've just launched our superfood teas in tea sachets. In the first quarter, we'll be launching teas in K-cups. We'll also be launching the first Nespresso compatible superfood coffee, which allows us then to access both the K-Cup system, compatible system, and the Nespresso compatible system. In March, we'll be launching our chew product. In end of second quarter, early third quarter, we'll be focusing on our hydration product, and then in the fourth quarter on our topical skincare combination product. So a number of new product launches driving top line and improving our marketing efficiency, flowing to the bottom line. On the CDMO side, we have a number of, critical customer opportunities that are working through deep into the pipeline, that we're working through to get over the line, just like we announced earlier this month of December, the major partnership, strategic anchor partnership with Tate & Lyle. We look forward to announcing additional partnerships in the next 90 to 120 days, and then additional partnerships beyond, with one major partnership at least every quarter. And then ultimately, the company's been very clear on our focus to reduce the operational burn and get to adjusted EBITDA profitability in the second half of the year. So there you go, as an investor looking at our company, you see, a consistent track record of continuous revenue growth, continued improvement in financial performance. And then as we move to 2025, a number of different milestones as it relates to new products, milestones as it relates to new critical partnerships in our CDMO model, and then importantly, getting the company to profitability in the second half of the year from an adjusted EBITDA level.
Wow, that's quite something. You have a great technology, a strong business plan, partnerships to expand your pipeline, and near-term profitability.
And that's all driven, Robert, by just people that are on a missionary focus to change the world, and ultimately driving human utility value, which is transforming the lives of hundreds of millions of people from an overall health and wellness perspective.
Wow, that sounds really powerful. I'm going to be looking forward to following those milestones. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for the opportunity.
With more than 6,000 small and micro cap companies listed, if you're looking for the next Apple, then ChannelCheck truly is your tree. It's an investor community where you can access independent Wall Street research, advanced market data, balanced news, corporate videos, and podcasts. You can even register to attend in-person Meet the Management Series lunches, and to be part of the preeminent annual Small and Microcap Investor Conference, NobleCon. And here's the best news. Since ChannelCheck is sponsored by the featured companies, premium membership requires no investment. It's absolutely free. So check it out. Log in today. Find out why ChannelCheck is North America's leading source of research on the companies that just may change the world.